Well, hello, hello. You are going to be one of the first people to see my new invention, the Holumen C. It is a purpose-built device for lighting coins in the ultimate way, I think. I've done some research and I've tried to solve a lot of the problems that people have working on coins. It is very hot here, by the way, and I probably look really sweaty and beaten down because I've been outside, but anyway, just bear with me. I've got an early prototype, and we're still working on finalizing the designs and everything for the final, so this is a little rough, but it's it's closer to what the final will look like than the wood box that I started with. Anyway, this is what it looks like. It is self-contained. It does a number of different things, but you can see there's basically several controls. There is this knob right here, and then on the other side there will be a nice panel blocking this, but we had our own custom circuit board made. You can see the Holumen logo right there, and an on-off switch and the power thing, and then these sliders that'll have nice knobs on them. I'm gonna plug this in. This is a 12-volt power source, so you can plug it into a 12-volt battery with a special cable, but it works with this battery as well as just plugging it into a little power adapter. And in addition to the controls, there is this lid, and there's a viewer there. And then on the inside, underneath the lid, it's hard to do this with one hand, you can see a very familiar looking sight, this little Holumen ring, and then this big light panel. And then I've also got this adjustable coin holder, and that goes right in there, and the coin goes on top, and the lid goes back on top. Now you can also, by the way, photograph it like this and do video clips where you're looking around the coin and stuff, but this is where the real magic happens, is underneath this cover. The final one will fit a little better. There we go. Just locks in there like that. And then I'm going to turn this puppy on. All right. So what we have is a few different controls. How's that? Now, what we have working right now is this part is called the field light. We've got a couple of different modes. The field light is a solid, even light that hits the perfect front of the coin, and then it also, if this coin was super shiny, it would still be a perfect milky reflection. So this is just the straight on shot, and it's really made to illuminate the field. You can see that there are shadows around the contour edges, and then all of the raised and flat elements are brightly lit. So what I did was I put it on there, and then I set the light for the field light. Now I'm going to take it down to black, and I'm going to show you what the other controls do. This is one of the Holumen rings illuminating. So that's the side. There's left and there's right. Oops, that's slanted. So you can change which side is illuminated on the face. But then you also have, I'm setting these two lights perfectly evenly lit. We call this inspection mode, and what it allows you to do is see every single abrasion and scrape that's on that coin. So this may not necessarily be how you photograph it, but you can see all the details. If there's an offset mint mark or something like that, or just lots of scratches, it's a great way to judge the condition that the coin is in, or look for hidden details. Now, this is set up with the left and right of the halo are set even, and then the halo is just set perfectly flat, level, horizontal. All I'm going to do now, I'm not actually changing the light, but I'm going to change the tilt of the halo with that knob in the front. You can see what that does is it softens the light and it gives you a gradient across the coin. So now you've got a little bit more light on one side than the other, creates that nice gradient, and it gives you a more photogenic thing. I can do the same thing tilted the other way. Now it's illuminating the back of the head. You can see the detail in the hair, all that stuff. Or you can just set it right in the middle. Now I can take one of those sliders down. So this is only with the left-hand side of the halo illuminated. And now I'm gonna tilt it up at like probably about a 45-degree angle. And that's just with one half of the halo lit, and it's at a hard angle, and it creates that beautiful light. That's a pretty good photograph of this coin. And you can see what happens with if I don't change anything. As I tilt that down, the light will get harder and harder, and the field of the coin gets darker and darker until the light source is basically below the coin and you don't see anything. I can switch and do the same thing with the backlight, and you get that type of action going on there. But you can also do different combinations. So I'm going back to the left side light and the halo tilted. And now watch what happens when I bring up the field light. It starts to just illuminate the overall coin, and it gives you a nice even gradient. So that's basically a way of doing those perfect face shots of just about any coin and just customizing it to the way that you want with really super simple controls. And then if you take this thing up and you take the lid off, I'm gonna widen this out here. Now what you have is a little coin studio that you can dial in. And you can use these lights however you like to find like kind of to inspect and do different details. So you can see I just did the settings there, and now this is without the cover on, and I've adjusted for the light that's on the coin, and so now I can hold it at any angle that I want and get those types of shots. But you can see the room this is just regular light in the room. So it's just basically taking it, setting it for the exposure that's on the coin, and then with the camera just toning it down so that you're looking at that. So, and you can do, you can tilt your lever and do all that stuff. But that's it. This is the Holumen C. It's all self-contained, can be battery operated or plugged in, and it just gives you the ability to get really beautiful shots of coins without a lot of effort. And it's portable, and it's coming soon.